It is the Day of the Animals. I was on a Shudder kick this week. I watched a few movies on Shudder that I've never heard of before. One of them happened to be The Day of the Animals, a weird horror film that really just it hooked me because of literally just like the plot summary, which was the ozone layer is gone and the animals go evil. That's it. I'm like, yep, that is so unrealistic but plausible that I have to watch what it means. And when I mean plausible, I mean like, yes, if the animals did go evil, we'd all be screwed because they'd overwhelm us. But then you're like, if I just locked myself in a room, I'd be okay, but then I'd have to leave the room. It's like, it's such a weird concept that I had to watch it. And then you're like, okay, so it's like the late 70s. It's going to be kind of a weird horror film. You're like, this can't be anything good. Truth is, it's really weird, but I like it. I really do like it. So the film actually opens up with like a Star Wars esque like opening crawl, where it's like this is an event that could, it underlines could happen if we lost the ozone layer. No, it wouldn't. I don't understand why anybody. I know it's like a weird horror film, but why would anybody think this would be what would happen if we lost the ozone layer? It wouldn't happen like this. It's just a thing that is happening. It's so weird to me. But honestly, it is an insane movie that starts off just like so slow, and you're like, okay, the animals are clearly going crazy. And then it takes a really weird turn later on, but we'll start getting there. So the idea is we are going hiking for a couple of weeks, I guess, with these random people. I don't know all their names, but I'll describe them to you. You have the leader of the pack. You have Leslie Nielsen, a mother and her son, two young horny kids, an ex-football player, a Native American who is handled interestingly, where there are people that are clearly making the jokes and saying stupid shit, but there's people in defense of that character that are talking about the racist guy like, shut the hell up. And then there's another couple who hate each other, and and like a newswoman and a camera guy, I guess. The guy with glasses and the pretty blonde are the last two. Those are the characters, right? They're going for a hike. Everyone's kind of on edge. Nobody really wants to be there, which is just really interesting to me. Like, why would you do this long of a hike if you don't want to be there? Like, I'm sure you could work. Like, the mother is like, why am I doing this? The father should be doing this. The father's off drinking somewhere. You could probably find it like a day camp to take your kid for something like that if you don't want to do it. But they're up high enough where the ozone layer is gone. And we see as they're just walking, we intersperse this with random cuts of random animals in the area just looking at them. And I love that so much because it means absolutely nothing. If you have no context for this movie, if you just threw it on one day and you're like, okay, people are going for a hike, why are we zooming in on an owl for so long? Why are we looking at mountain lions and bears and just snakes and wolves just looking at these people? It is so bizarre and dumb. And it's just like so stupid and slow. And then slowly, as the story progresses, so slowly, and it's only like an hour and 37, so slowly, you just start to see these animals just attack them for no reason. I just love the idea that the animals don't attack each other. We're not stumbling into a world where like a German shepherd and a wolf are fighting. They're just all like, nah, the humans, the ones in pants, they have to die. It is so interesting because it makes absolutely no sense. Why would the animals get affected if we didn't? I don't understand that, but I love it. So the first attack is, I believe it's by like a bird. Like a bird might tries to attack the kid, and then I think it's a wolf that attacks the one girl who's unhappy. So she has to leave with her husband, and they get into a huge fight. And this is like, there's like it diverges into like a couple storylines, but this one's one of my favorites, where it's like this woman's attacked by a wolf. She's being stalked by vultures. Her husband's like, fine, you don't want my help, screw you. And she's like, I hate you so much. She gets attacked by vultures and falls off a cliff. I love that story so much because it's like, she has an every right should hate this guy. It's just so stupid and insane. That's one of the storylines we see. We see the park ranger who doesn't believe that something's going on. And then later on in the story, he's called up like, yo, we have to evacuate the town because we're above the elevation of the ozone, so we have to go. get up and leave. And while he's on the phone, he's attacked by rats. And then it's just so, like, that is terrifying. Could you imagine just being attacked by a bunch of rats while they're eating, like, your frozen food, and then they just jump on you and scratch your face and gnaw at you? It's disturbing. And then it just turns like the military shows up in this town. Everyone's being evacuated. It's insane. It is insane. And we don't even see if that guy dies. He's just gone for the rest of the story. It's weird. And then we just focus on the rest of our group hiking. And look, I know for a fact I'm going to talk endlessly about Leslie Nielsen on this channel and other movies we cover. But he is just closing in on what's going to become his career. You know, we're still not at like Airplane or the Naked Guns yet. We're slowly getting to them. So in Day of the Animals, he is the arrogant advertising sales guy. I think they say he's an advertising or he's like an executive of some stupid shit. He's arrogant and racist. He's like, I'm not going to follow this son of a gun hillbilly mother guy. I'm going to go off on my own, and we're going to find our way back because the higher we get up, the better chances a chopper is going to find us. So he takes the young horny kids, the mom and the son, and they go off on their own. And within the next scene we see him, he's been angry the entire movie, so arrogant and annoying the entire film. The next scene we see him in, he is shirtless, demanding everybody listen to him, throwing the mother and the son onto the ground. He kills the horny kid and tries to rape the woman. And I'm just like, are we saying that he's getting affected by the lack of ozone? Or is he just like, finally, I'm primal, I'm in my best spirits, I've wanted to do this since we got here, be this brutal man, this primal creature, throwing people around, killing people with sharp sticks, and raping women. And you're just like, what the hell? This is such a big departure because nobody else is affected. If we're saying he is affected by like the lack of ozone, no other human is. So he's clearly just wanting to do this from the beginning. He's shirtless the entire time. And then as his story ends, he gets into a wrestling match with a bear. And you're just like, how is that possible? Where did that come from? We've been spending the past like hour just slowly building up to these animals attacking. And then this guy is just shirtless, screaming, trying to assault women. And then a bear attacks him. And they wrestle. It's not just like the bear bites his neck or anything. They tackle each other. It is like a bizarre idea because it makes absolutely no sense why this... I know Leslie Nielsen's always looked like an old guy, but why would this man be able to fight a bear physically? It is so bizarre and makes absolutely no sense to the entire story, but he dies, and I guess the bear dies too? It's so stupid. And then the other people he's with, they find a helicopter and they're able to get inside and just be protected from rabid dogs. And this is the other thing I really like about this film for some reason. They don't use the same dog twice. It's so weird. So there's one scene where it's like coyotes and wolves attacking them. There's one scene where the rest of our people are attacked by German shepherds, but it's like 50 German shepherds. Well, that's a little bit of exaggeration. It's like at least 15 German shepherds attacking this one person. And you're like, that is the most terrifying thing you could imagine. If a bunch of rabid, angry dogs were attacking you, that would be scary. And then there's like other breeds of dogs. I can't remember their names, but there's one like the town that kind of like stalks this one guy. So the guy whose wife gets like thrown off a cliff by the vultures, he has another side story going on where he is working. Like he finds this kid and they like go into the town and he's trying to protect this girl. And there's this horrifying scene where he gets devoured by snakes and she is watching through like this like the window of a car, and then it just zooms in on her face and she is just petrified and scared beyond belief watching this grown man get devoured by snakes. That is the most harrowing scene of the entire film because it is so brutal. It is just like that. Just imagine like you actually save this girl from these rabid dogs, these creatures trying to kill you everywhere. You open a car door and you're mauled by snakes. How do the snakes get into a closed car? That's what I want to know, but it's just so brutal and terrifying. And then the football player and the guy with glasses in the camera, They get killed by German shepherds. And pretty much the only people that survive are the mother, the son, the girlfriend who was trying to be sexually attacked by Leslie Nielsen, the park ranger guy who takes them on the hiking trip, the news reporter lady, and the Native American. Because they disconnect a raft and they get in the water. And it's like, that would that work? Because dogs can swim, and the dogs do swim. Like, they actually jump in the water and chase them. It's quite bizarre. But I don't hate it. Like, there's just something so pleasant about the film where it's just so laid back. It's like, okay, we'll spend the time getting you here. Here's just random shots of like a mountain lion looking down at the people. I like that. And then when they actually like attack the people, the animals, it is brutal because you can clearly see like, oh, this is a trained animal playing with somebody. And then when it's like a puppet or just quick shots, it is insane. There's people throwing like rugs around. It is so bizarre, but I love it. The thing I really enjoy is just that they tease the owl for so long, but the owl doesn't do anything. It's just got like a distinctive look. And we just zoom in on the owl all the time. Like it's like the leader of this attack. And it doesn't do anything. I'm like, why are we focusing on the owl when it doesn't attack people? And is it not affecting the fish? Because there's a scene where we're just catching fish in a river, but they're not like attacking the people. So is it just people, like, does the ozone not affect the water that it's in? Very interesting. But such a weird movie, you know? If you're going into this like, oh, the animals are going to attack people and they're going to die, it's great. But then you get the most insane scenes where Leslie Nielsen is fighting a bear while he is shirtless, and you get a scene where this young child is watching a man get devoured by snakes. Just these horrifying sequences in this insane world where, like, a man's getting eaten by, like, 15 German shepherds. That is not a normal thing to see. It is absolutely gut-wrenchingly terrifying. And you just got to imagine, like, could you imagine, like, that world where you are walking in your kitchen and then 20 mice just jump on your face and start eating your flesh? I would scream so much, but it's, like, so insane. And Day of the Animals is a pretty interesting horror film. Like, it's so silly and dumb, but it's kind of scary. And it does play itself off pretty well, so I did enjoy it. And it just puts me in that mood where you're like, oh, I got to see Grizzly and I got to see the alligator stuff and the piranhas again. Just those stupid things where animals attack people. It's great. I really enjoyed this, actually. So dumb, but so fun. That is Day of the Animals. And that's going to do it for this review of Horrific Tales. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.